Anybody? Kurt, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Can anybody else hear me? Do you have any questions? Rafiq?
Hey, Coach Gwen, I just want to say congratulations on winning Coach of the Month last month after an undefeated month of August. We look back at being perfect during the month of August. How has that helped you become one of the best teams in the WNBA?
Rafiq, obviously, the approach, the players have stayed locked in one at a time. The disappointment of the Commissioner Cup also allowed us to get back in the film room and get back and really concentrate game by game, scheme by scheme, and really stay in the moment. So really proud of them. We've been in a great stretch, which has put us in position here in September for playoff seeding, which is so important.
And your next game against the Los Angeles Sparks, do you expect it to be just as tough a competition as it were the two games you had at home, especially since they're back to playing in the Staples Center?
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of myself with Los Angeles. Obviously, we go to Dallas next, Rafiq. So, first and foremost, we have to play against a really talented, up-tempo, Enrique-led Dallas team that can really score. They're in the midst of a long homestand, so gaining confidence and playing for their playoff lives with another big win last night. They have a game on Sunday before they play us, so we get one more look at them. But first things first, we have to prepare for Dallas. Okay,
since you're preparing for Dallas, I mean, you kind of touched up on this earlier. Enrique Guwa has been one of the most clutch players at WNBA, and they're just coming off getting a gritty win against the Atlanta Dream. Like, how have you studied the type of offensive system that the Dallas Wings put together during the stretch?
Again, they have a ton of weapons. So it's not just Enrique. Enrique's kind of the head of the monster, but they have a lot of different weapons, a lot of different people that can hurt you. We have a good stretch of preparation. And by the time we get down to Dallas late in the weekend and early next week, we believe we'll have a good game plan under our belt.
Alexa?
Hey, Kurt, now that you guys have had a little bit of rest and then, this stretch of, practice before you finish up the next 5 games of the season, what are some of the things that you're looking to see from your team, as the regular season closes, just improvements or consistency-wise as you start to turn the page ahead to the playoffs?
Yeah, I think you mentioned it within the question. Consistency. The other night, we were really good in stretches against Washington on both sides of the ball, and then we were inconsistent and had slippage and had things that certainly we can perform better at both ends of the court. So, looking for that consistency, understand that there's such a fine line between winning and losing in this league, and that we have to be more consistent. And that's the message coming out of Washington. Great stretches. I mean, truly great stretches. And then a lot of slippage at the same time, and a lot of missed assignments at the defensive end where we just weren't consistent enough. We believe at the top end of this league that we can afford to be that inconsistent.
Did you see that mostly on the defensive end, offensive end, both?
There's segments of both, Alexa. And again, we're not asking them to be perfectionists. We're not asking them, there's no such thing as a perfect basketball game. But again, we lacked some consistency in Washington on both sides of the ball.
Thanks, Kurt.
Any other questions for Kurt? All right, we'll bring in Dewana.
Hi, Dewana. Great to see you. So Jonquil was Player of the Month in August. Can you just tell everybody why she deserves to be the 2021 WNBA MVP?
Just the way she's been playing all season. It's not very often that somebody can go away for just about a month and come in and put up those same numbers. Actually, she didn't even play last year, and then coming back and playing like that is just amazing. She's just been consistent all year. She's the reason why we go, and we just riding her back right now. So everything she's put in, all the work she's put in, all the hard work, the sacrifices that she's made is just coming to light right now. And yeah, she deserves it all.
Thank you for that. And the Sun didn't lose a game in August. And why is this team clicking so well at this point in the season?
I think we just hold each other accountable, especially defensively. As I say that, as the defensive coach just walked in, but we really do hold each other accountable. We just want to be better. We want to win. We got a hunger about us right now, and we rolling. But we just hang our hats on defense and rebounding. So we have two of the best rebounders in the league right now, and two of the best defensive guards right now. So yeah, if we can keep it up defensively, get a little bit better, clean a couple of things up, I think we can make a run at it, hopefully.
All right. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Alexa?
Hey, Dawana. Kurt was just telling us a little bit about how he wants to see, I guess, greater consistency down the remaining stretch of the regular season. And, especially coming from, other teams that have won championships or had championships as, their end goal. What to you, are the key steps to really overcoming that hump and, being consistent for when it really matters most?
It's hard to, challenge yourself every day, every game to be the, that consistency. It's hard to get there. Championships are hard, and we just got to focus in and buy in at this point in the season. But if we clean up our turnovers, they've been kind of high, especially these last couple games, and focus more on our defensive rotation, especially when we're in Washington, especially that first half. I think the third quarter we cleaned it up a little bit, but at this point in the season, it's just like all wheels have to be turned. You have to be on the same page. So when he says consistency and cleaning things up, it's just something that we have to work on in practice and carry over in the games.
And how much do you? Sorry,
Alexa.
Quick follow up if you don't mind. You guys talk pretty freely about what your goals are for this season, but you also know it seems like that you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. So how do you kind of stay present in the moment and, the games that are in front of you? Like, obviously, you're going to be in the playoffs. I'm sure you guys want to secure a top seed, but you have these 5 games remaining left before you can really even get ahead of yourself and think about playoffs.
These 5 games are important. You just can't jump up in playoffs and turn it on. That doesn't happen. That's not how you win. Not easy to do. So we need these 5 games to get our rhythm, get that consistency. So when we get to the playoffs, we can just keep it rolling. But we got to use these 5 games as momentum. We got to use the 5 games as confidence and balance. And once we get there, use these 5 games. And once we get to the playoffs, we just keep it rolling from there. So we know how important these 5 games are, whether that's the standings, but more so for ourselves as a team, our confidence.
Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Rafiq?
I want to bounce off with a question that relates to you guys going undefeated in the month of August and John Cole Jones and Coach getting a couple monthly awards. Like, what does this tell you about the growth that your team has progressed from like before the second half of the season started?
John Cole been playing that way all year. She's been playing that way since the very first game in Atlanta. It's just something that she's just been doing. Even when she left and she went overseas to her national team, she still dominated there too. So she's just been kind of been doing this all year. She's just rolling right now. So we feed off her. She's the leader. She gets us going. So just kudos to her. It just wasn't last month and after the break. It's just been all year. And just the work that she's put in is just coming out. It's just showing right now. So hopefully that she can nod that MVP. Hope she can keep playing like that these next 5 games. It'll be hard for her not to get the nod.
Thank you for your time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Dawana, you're all set.
Thank you.
Rafiq, you can go ahead and ask your question first.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on the way the team has developed during the month of August after going undefeated. And of course, John Cole Jones being player of the month and Kurt Miller being coach of the month.
Yeah, I mean, we came back from break with a vengeance. Everyone was just ready to get back to work. I think that, we have the best team in the league. So we just wanted to show that and to make sure that even though at the beginning of the season we had that chip on our shoulder because we weren't getting the recognition, we wanted to keep that kind of chip. So that was really the mindset coming back out of the break.
And as we get closer to the end of the regular season, you might see some players get benched, which means you might get some minutes. Or if the coach decides to give you more minutes coming off the bench or at least one start in game, like how do you plan to take advantage of that opportunity?
I mean, that's not really like what I be thinking about. I just want to win, and whenever I'm called, I'm ready. God forbid anyone has to get benched because of injury or anything like that. So that's definitely not the focus. But, I know my role, and I'm just leaning straight directly into that. I don't know who's next, but someone else can go.
Sorry, Pepper, go ahead.
Hi, Dejanay. Great to see you. 2 quick questions for you. So, Jonquel Jones, Player of the Month. Why should JJ be MVP?
I mean, the things that she's doing on the court, it's not just the numbers. It's if you actually watch her play, it's things that a lot of people just can't do, no matter how hard you try. There's just things that JJ can do and has done with efficiency that no one else in the league can do and have done this year. So that's one thing. And then 2, it's just the success that our team is having. She doesn't feel like she has to be the star every single night, but she's still putting up those numbers, even when we have other great all-stars around her. She's selfless and, she checks all the boxes, in my opinion.
Thank you. The Sun went undefeated in August. Why are you all clicking really well at this point in the season?
I think the biggest thing is we just care about each other. We like each other in real life. So it's not like when we get on the court, we have to force anything. We're unselfish and we want each other to succeed. So it's easy to play with a group that you actually like and, have respect for. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we have that maybe some teams don't.
Thank you so much, Dejanay. Good luck.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Alexa, you'll be the last for Dejanay.
Hey, Dejanay. I wanted to ask you about something that the team and Kurt had talked about, especially after the last homestand, about you guys finding ways to win when, someone like JJ might be having an off night or a team takes away, one of the big 3 more or less. How have you seen that develop over time? And how do you think the bench has played a big part in that as well?
I mean, obviously we know who we need every single night, and that's JJ, Breezy, and DB, and we play through them. But Jazz steps up, Breon steps up, and they've all had big games this year. Kyla, Natisha, they've all stepped up and helped pick up slack when it was needed. Specifically, I remember Bree Jan in one of the last games at home, she really stepped up offensively and defensively because we needed that night. And all of them have it in them. It's just when we need it, they provide it. And then just as far as kind of the bench, I think we provide a lot of energy. We provide just kind of a youthful spark that sometimes we need when we're playing back-to-back games. Obviously our vets, they've been doing this for years and sometimes their legs are a little tired and we're fresh and we have energy and youthfulness. So we just try to provide that, whether it's on the bench or whether it's on the court, just a spark and energy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks, Nay. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Renee.
Tomorrow, instead of Breon January, we'll have Breezy and Steph.
Hey, we need more.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Sounds good. Thanks.